Okay, I am doing my persuasive speech on minimum wage and the rates and the levels on which people should be getting paid. Okay. Earlier this week in my Sociology 210 class, we learned about the wages of American workers. My professor also raised a question, should the minimum wage be raised? My answer is both yes and no. America has raised the minimum wage 22 times since 1938. The minimum wage is the salary floor, or the lowest possible rate that employers can pay employees. The most recent update to the federal minimum wage was in 2009, to which it raised the minimum wage to $7.25 per hour, with the exception of servers and some bartenders also get paid less than $7.25 an hour. Now, some people would say that is too low, especially today. I say that it should stay the same, but also it could be raised a little bit more. The minimum wage rate is a problem because people go and protest all the time about how it should be raised. The most recent protest was Fight for 15, when protesters from fast food chains, retail stores, and other industries called for $15 per hour starting minimum wage. That is just way too high, honestly. I think $15 per hour is an outrageous amount to ask. $7.25 is low too, though. So I'm thinking more about like the $9.50 per hour. 15 is just too high. 7's just too low. I don't think America should push for a higher minimum wage, more than $9 an hour, because it could result in an increase of high school dropouts. Some kids might see $15 per hour and decide to drop out and work instead. While making money is important, so is an education, at least until your high school education is over. While going into the labor force is needed, most jobs require a high school diploma. Without an education, though, you may not go very far. Not saying that you can't go far without a high school education. I just think that a high school education can help a lot, especially when you're looking for jobs. It could really add a lot to your resume as well. Also, by raising the rate of minimum wages, prices of goods and services might be increased to offset high labor costs. These employees need to be paid somehow, and how else are you going to pay them if you are not going to raise the prices of goods? While you may be making $15 per hour, which is great, the price of services and goods might go from low to high. An example being milk would go from $3.50 to maybe $6 or $7 per gallon, which is a lot. Are American citizens really going to be willing to pay that much? It'd be basically the same amount. You're getting paid $7 an hour right now, $7.25 if starting at that, and you're paying $3 for a gallon of milk. You'd be starting at 15 and paying 6 or 7. It's basically half for each. An increase in the minimum wage might also push employees to invest in technology such as robots and machinery to do the work humans can do. No company wants to pay $15 an hour for a job that can be done by someone or something else for a lot less. This might lay off employees or even raise the unemployment rate. Some pros to raising the minimum wage would be an increase in the minimum wage raises the standard of living. You would get people that are living in poverty right now to maybe go above that poverty line, which is what we want. Also, consumers would spend more money if they're making more money. If you're making more money, what are you going to do with it? Spend it. You're going to put it right back into the economy, which can also help out the economy. We also talked about in my class, my professor raised an argument saying that raising the minimum wage might eliminate gender bias and race bias in the workplace. And I agree with this. There's that gender gap pay that women are getting paid less than men. And I think that starting the minimum wage off higher would eliminate that. Also with racial problems in the workplace, by starting everyone off at the same amount but higher, it could eliminate those problems. We should all provide our input before it is too late, whether you agree with me or not about this issue. This has to do with every problem. We are given a right to vote and freedom of speech for a reason. If we are not going to use our voice and opinions, we shouldn't have the right to do so. We're given the right as American citizens to vote when we turn 18 and the freedom of speech, and I think that we should use it, and I think that we should take part, because other countries and other people don't have that right, and I think that we should be glad and lucky that we do have that right, and we should voice our opinions. In conclusion, I want you to think about the cons, but also some of the pros to raising the minimum wage. Will people have a better quality of life, or will people be paying a lot more for goods and services? Will the high school dropout rate fall? Just some ideas to get some conversation running through your head. Thank you.